There we go. That shows most of it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
You got it going.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we be live?
We are live.
We be live. I'm just the only one watching. I've only got one little thing there, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna turn the volume down on that. Okay.
Alrighty.
You want to zoom in just a... Let me see here. Hang on. Let me see how that looks. Let me get my arm out of the way there. Yeah, that's all right.
Uh-huh.
Because I can hold stuff up with need be.
Hey, thanks, Penzi.
What's that?
He sent a flow state gift. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hello, like the 2 engines yesterday. Oh, Isaac says that.
Thank you. All right, today we're just... I'm just going to open it up for some chat for you guys, and I'm going to be working on this. Like I told you yesterday, I'm working on the Artemis for paint.
Penzi says, hi, Northern, hope you like that.
Oh, yes, we did. Thank you so very much for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Dad's going to be entering a flow state here pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm trying to do something to keep my mind off my tooth today, so I'm just going to work on this. And so these are the tops of the Artemis, obviously. I thought I had all of them glued together. Surprise, surprise, I didn't have but one glued together. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna put these together, and then I'm gonna putty the sections and everything. I'm gonna get this so I can see this just a little bit easier right here.
Yeah.
So I can just glance up while I'm working on stuff. I'm not gonna look over and wind up slicing my finger off. So that wouldn't be a good thing.
Oki says hi.
Hey.
And wake up, everyone. It's Sunday fun day.
It is. Well, it's Sunday work day. So
yeah.
We're not going to be doing any running today. I've got a lot to do in preparation for painting tomorrow. So I thought I had a lot of this taken care of, and I thought at least I had half of each top glued together, and I didn't. So
Oki says, work for you, fun for us.
Well, that's good. Oh, hey, look, I pulled this back.
Hey!
I found my other stairs.
There it is.
Oh, gee, it's amazing what happens when you clear off a little space of your work table. So I'll put that up here on my skid row. I'll show and after we're done, after I'm done putting all this together and putting, we may do some running or something and show you guys what we're doing here with this. But you'll get to see me tear apart a tower piece by piece to do the puttying.
I'm just working on some instructions, everyone, and then I will probably be up and I'll chat from there.
Yeah.
So, but Dad's got the chat, so he can see messages as they come in.
Yeah, it's right here. So, he's putting together our instructions for our files that we're putting together that we're putting up for sale tomorrow on Cults for the bridge for our
the elevated track.
So. I did all the drawings today for the instructions, and he's putting all the text in. So if you need help with the text on that, just come up and ask me about it.
Okay.
And then I'll just kind of review it when you're all finished.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's looking good so far.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let's see. Penzi says, I'm trying to decide if I should paint one of my HO scale locomotives and one of my custom railroad heritage schemes.
Well, if you got an extra one, I'd do it. I love painting engines.
Yeah,
I've painted gobs and gobs of engines. So
yeah, definitely go for it. Isaac says go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I'm gonna. The thing about 3D prints is you get areas that just don't come up flush. So a lot of this has to get trimmed. It's not that big a deal. It is hard to paint. I understand that it is hard to paint custom stuff, but just take your time. There's lots of tutorials up there. Most important thing you want to do is make sure your engine shell is really clean, because otherwise you don't have any oil or dirt on it. You're going to want to wash it with, when you get ready to do the painting, you're going to definitely want to wash it with a gentle soap and water and like maybe a clean toothbrush. So you get all that off of there. All right, so first thing I'm going to start with is there's little like ridges and stuff right here that have to come off. So this is what I was talking about. I'm just going to sit here and do this, but I can still see with the screen right here. So if I'll keep track of that so I don't like slice myself and stuff. So we're just going to get a comfortable spot here and let's see. I kind of moved around a little bit, so I like to brace against it. The Ocean Rail Lines Railroad and the Heritage Unit scheme is on F40PH. Oh, that'd be really nice. I like those F40PHs. All right, so you can probably hear, I just, every site has to do this. And what we do is, you just got to get, there's a couple of edges that you really have to get on things on these 3D prints. So everything comes up flush on these tower sections, these top sections. It doesn't take a whole lot, but it's just stuff you have to do. Got to do both sides. Now, see, this side's got more of a ripple to it. So, and this back area is where you glue the most. So this is this back edge versus this edge. This is where most of the gluing happens. So you just got to make sure this is really good. It's just how it prints when it has these supports on it. It gets really funky things from time to time. Just got to take your time. My AMD you saw yesterday that should be pinned in Delaware. Oh, very cool. You guys just need to share your pictures. When you guys get them painted, be sure to bring them up here. We'll get them posted. We posted the ones last night in our community section. So if you guys want to share with everybody else, just be sure to send us some pictures. If you can't post it yourself, it doesn't show up. And we'll get them put on there for sure. All right, so that should, yeah, it's getting a good edge. Throw that one away. So we're just going to do this. I've actually got the top that I need for tomorrow already glued. It's setting up down on the floor on my board down there. So I thought while I'm waiting for that before I do the putty, I might as well just go ahead and get another one of the tops done. And I gotta get them all done anyway. As soon as if I like the paint, when I get this one painted, the first one painted tomorrow, I want to be able to run through the rest of them. I'm going to have to go down, hopefully go down tomorrow to Hobbytown. And I've got to get more of this stuff, more of the putty. And then we're going to take down some of my dad's collection because he said he'd just put it on consignment down there. I haven't been very good. I haven't about reposting the stuff on Facebook Marketplace lately. And come on. I'd rather just take it down. The guy that has all the railroaders coming in. I mean, I'm only wanting $15 a car for myself, and these cars are worth like 30 a piece. So he'll make some good money, and I can go ahead and clear out the rest of that. Get it out of my mom's basement, so she's not having to deal with it anymore. Boy, when you do a lot of quick work like this just loosens up a lot, awful quick. So you just gotta keep tightening it down. So we're just doing this fun stuff today. So I thought if you guys were hanging out today and I just want to sit here, you guys want to come chat, amongst yourselves or with me, and just sit here and work and do all the fun stuff that you got to do before painting. All right, so there's 2 walls. It just makes quick work of it if you just use the flat of the X-Acto blade when you're doing anything like this. You can get it done pretty quick. Okay. I try not to gouge. I try not to press too hard. Like watching while you mow. Yep. Kind of like I was last night when I was just really tired, just watching the trains running around. It's very cathartic. Just sitting there, just veg out, veg out. You want to make sure you get your edges, get all the extra flash off after you've scraped off these little edges. Oh, Gabe's gonna watch from time to time. Obviously, he'll be typing. That's Gabe typing. If you see a type when that response, that's Gabe. He's downstairs. So I'm obviously not typing. So. Get this one, and then we can start the glue. Bottle's already open, ready to go because of the last one I just did. What font does that engine? I don't remember. I will take a look and we'll send you an email about it. We'll see if we can match it up so that you can match it if you're wanting. Gabe knows a lot about the different fonts because he uses a lot of them when doing the text and stuff for our videos, the stuff on the thumbnails and things. So I'll have him look at it and see if he can figure out what font it is for you. Okay, one more little corner here. And start to glue. Like I said, I'm putting more attention right here on this edge versus this front edge because this is what's going to really attach to the other piece. Not so much the front. The front's going to have a big gap to it, which will require a decent amount of putty. Just tag him in the comment section on the shorts video. We'll do that. Okay. All right. So last step. Just gotta clean my file out here. Okay. Now I just run this over this. Just get a quick smooth. Make sure everything's nice and smooth because sometimes that the X-Acto gouges. So this just takes care of the rest of it. One. This file would not do it by itself. That's why I start with the X-Acto. This PLA is really, really hard stuff. So that's why if you have to smooth anything, you definitely do it with the X-Acto first and then follow up with a file. There we go. Bachman came out with a Dreyfus and a regular husband. Oh, cool. About ready to glue. Yeah, I'm trying to set myself up to be able to paint this entire building tomorrow. So I've got, all right, I got to get this off of here because I got to be able to have a really good flat area. I need to get this out from underneath here. I need a good flat space. Hi, Ethan. We are just working on the Artemis today. I've got to get these tops for all the towers glued together. All right, so let's see what we got here. But did all right. I don't see any gaps along the back edge when I do this. Nope, that's all right. So I'm going to put more of the glue on the back side right here, but I will put glue over pretty much the whole flat area. I don't know what exactly attaches, but I do know that back edge does. So I will line that up. really well. Make sure we're about a 90 degree, and we'll just hit here for a sec. Yeah, so this is so then what happens after this is these corners right here, there's some decent gaps you'll see when I get done gluing this together. I'll putty that, and all of these seams that I have up on the tower, I've got to putty all those for every one of those levels. And then after that dries later this afternoon, I'll come back in with my sanding block and I'll sand all this, get that down nice and even. So what's going to happen here as far as the painting goes, the painting process on this. Let's see how this is doing here real quick. Oh, it's nice and solid, and it's good 90 degree. All right, so we're going to paint all of this, that green color that's supposed to be the oxidized copper. So then I've got this copper in the metallics, brand new bottle. So then I'll take this and I'll do it. I'll put this in my plate like I normally do, and I'll get a brush, load it with paint, then wipe it off a lot towards the dry brushing, and then I'll come down and I'll start streaking the copper into the green in a variety of places to where it looks like that part of the copper hasn't oxidized yet. Then once I've done that, then I'll come back in with the sanding block and or just sandpaper, and I'll smooth it all together so it'll just be this smooth, seamless look of the colors coming together. So that's going to be done on every one of the tops of this, and I think it's going to look really, really good. All right, so that's pretty good and solid and flat. So we will now, let's see, I'll put the other long wall on. I had issues with my smoke unit on my Shea, and Bill said send me was one of the smoke units. They said they had tested them. Yeah, I've seen so far. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, well, at least they, hopefully it'll work when you get the new smoke unit. If they said they tested it, it shouldn't really be a problem. You should be able to do what you got to do. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Again, putting it towards the top side up here, a little bit right in there. There we go. So again, I'm just putting glue along the back side here so that they just line up. There we are. I don't see, I'm backing up and I'm looking here and I don't see any light coming through. So it looks like I've got a pretty firm and solid seal right there. So we'll give this just a sec. You can see this stuff dries pretty quick. I've talked about it many times on this channel about how good this glue is. It's for the PLA, it's the counterpart of the tester's glue that I use. It's the best stuff on the market. So if you ever get into 3D printing and you need to glue stuff together, I highly recommend the Bondtech. I'm not being paid by them. They're not a sponsor. It's just the best stuff I have found. All right, so we just about have that. We'll give that a sec to dry. I need to pull it out just a little bit. Well, it'll adjust itself when I put the end in right here, this guy. So we will see, I'm already able to start moving that around. So now I just got to put the glue on this edge here, that edge there, and then just carefully put it in and get it all lined up, making sure everything is still staying flat and plumb. He sent me 2, just got them yesterday, so hopefully tomorrow I can put it in. Oh, it's an N-scale smoke unit. Good. Well, you'll have to let us know how that goes. Hope it works out well. Oops. Yeah, a little too much glue there. I need an extra paper towel up here just to have to dab glue if I need to dab. We'll see how it goes. Wipe that off right there. And we shall just come down the thing right here, this one, and on this edge right here. Good. All right. I think I got a little too much up here at the top, so dab. Okay. I just got some right along that back there. All right. Now a lot of it ran down here, so make sure I dab that off. Dab. All right, here we go. So now we'll just put this in right here and sandwich that one in right there. Kind of make sure I see that they're really good, no gapping, and then I'll just hold it here for a few seconds, getting things adjusted here for a sec. All right, so we'll just sit here and do that. There we go. Okay, so we'll just sit here. Just hold this. All right. And this Bontek's not very toxic either. I don't really get a lot of smell off of it. Yeah, one Mississippi too. Yeah, I generally give it about 20 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. Then I'll start to release it gently, and seeing if I see anything shifting or moving. And if I don't, then I'll release it and then I'll let it sit here for a little bit more. And we'll see how it looks. There we go. Yeah, it's already. I don't see any gap. I'm trying to look through. And I don't see any gaps. The backside, just a tiny one up here at the top, but that's not that big a deal. I'll adjust that. Well, not adjust it, but I'll fill that with the putty. As long as the rest of it, I saw it all the way down, so it should have a really good bond. So here is. So now I've got two of them done. I just did this one a second ago, right before we logged on. So I've got two of the tops made now. So it's moving along pretty quick. Now these will get a roof insert that will go in here. I'll cut a piece of styrene that will fit right down inside. I don't need that for when I paint the blue because that's going to be painted black and then weathered. And then I'll just insert it down in here towards maybe about 1/8 of an inch from the top. And then we'll put some mechanicals up here. I may put, I don't know, like some ducting and I don't know, something up here, maybe some electrical or something like that. So I'll figure it out. All right, so there's that one. So we're looking good so far. I think this one is probably dry enough. Yep, it is. So it's going to go down here onto the floor. Well, I'm at it, so I might as well get the third and final one done. That didn't only took about 10 minutes to do that. I'm just over here grabbing them off the top of the buildings. Because these things just kept falling off anyway, so it'll be nice having this as these as solid pieces up here on top. So I don't have to worry about it if I hit the building or something and I got them crashing down on the trains down below. So that'll be good. Anytime you don't damage your trains with your buildings is always a good thing. All right, so there's those, and then there's these pieces have been sitting around forever. Now you can see, here's the difference of the PLA. This is the really good PLA. It's the darker. I don't know if it's really going to show up on camera or not. This is the PLA Plus, and this is the other PLA. If you ever get into printing, get the PLA Plus. You're going to want that. It's a lot easier to sand, and you don't get the patterning that you get with the other type. So, all right. Well, same thing. We're just gonna do. How was I holding this? There, that's how I was holding it. Okay. I hopefully won't cut myself up and get a strike from YouTube because we showed blood. These little open windows down here really gouge when you're trying to hold it tight. Boy, you just. Is there a big price difference? No. Well, I mean, proportionately, yes. Practically, no. I mean, it's this stuff. The cheaper you can buy for about $15 a roll. The really good stuff's about $25 a roll. No, $22 a roll. So it's about a $7 difference for a roll. But a roll will print you an entire skyscraper. So, I mean, a $5 or $6 difference to be able to print something better, it's worth it. But we always wait and we catch stuff on sale. We just bought 4 rolls. They put them on sale, the PLA Plus. They just got done. Amazon just had a decent sale on them. And it was, I think we got them down to $12.50 a roll. No ER road, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't plan on having to go there if I don't have to. So, I recommend spending a little bit extra, the extra $5-6, if it isn't, even if it isn't on sale, to get the PLA Plus. But they seem to put it on sale at least once a month for like a week time period, so you can find the PLA Plus pretty much regularly on sale. So I just wait until you see it, unless you got a project, which sometimes we've had projects that we've just needed to get it when we needed it, and we just took whatever was the cheapest at the time. And I just spent a little extra time doing the sanding. Well, hello there. Glad you joined us. We're just working on the roof panels, or the actual like penthouse section of all four Artemis towers today. I'm getting ready to paint the small one tomorrow, and I was just going to do that one, but I thought I'm here. I'm doing these, and I've got to do them all anyway, so I've got it all set up with all the right tools here, so I might as well just get it done. This really is just the only part that takes time. You saw how fast it glues together. Once I get to that point, it's nothing. So this is the only thing that takes a little bit of time. Now what's going on here? Did I already do one? I did that one. Well, that one's done, so I gotta put them over here so I don't grab them again. So I'm almost halfway done doing this part. And again, like I said, all I'm doing is getting myself a good flat area on this back part of the edge triangle. I put a few of these together before. The big tower has its together, and I've also done another one. And I learned quickly that if you don't have this flat right here, this one edge really flat, these things just do not go together. So this is all live and learn. Just trying to give you guys the benefit without having to waste your time. Did I already do this thing? I already did this thing. Okay. So there's 2 done. Let's say that looked really flat. That part came out really good. No, I already took care of it. So we are just, oh crap. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I haven't poked these out yet. Why did I not do that? All right, I'll do that after I get done filing and sanding everything. You can see it right here. You see these outlines? You can probably see them. I'll hold this up a little bit. That shows that these windows still have their supports in them. So that's what ticked me off. I thought I cleared all of these. But I guess not. Shows how long it's been since I've worked on these towers. Again, like I talked about yesterday, this was stuff I wasn't going to do until the fall. So we're getting ourselves quite a bit ahead, because right now stuff's printing in the other rooms. I think we're finishing up the pieces on the Alexandria. The last pieces that have to be done for the Alexandria are in there. Then we're taking a couple of days off. We're going to print of printing for the big buildings. As soon as we're done with the Alexandria, we're going to start printing the beams that I need to go underneath the station so I can complete that platform. That's only going to take about an hour to print all of that, maybe an hour and a half, and maybe about a half an hour to assemble it, and then I'll have our entire station platform ready. Then I thought we'd take maybe a day and a half, 2 days, and print a good bulk of what's left for the elevated track for the area that's going to go in front of these buildings. I'd like to get that all done, and then we go into printing the diamond building. set that there so I don't forget to do that before I glue it. Otherwise, I'm going to glue it and have to pull all those out of there, and that's going to be a real pain if I do that. So probably by Wednesday, we'll start printing the diamond building. In the meantime, we'll get a lot of stuff accomplished, actually printed and on the layout. Because once we get the pieces for the elevated track, it's only going to take me about a day to pull all of the printing supports that get put onto the stuff, pulled off the pieces, and then get it all glued together, filed and glued together, fit and glued together. Hello, trains to planes. We are working today. I am building and puttying the next set of towers that I'm painting tomorrow. You see, while I'm painting this tomorrow, Gabe will start printing all those I-beams. By the time I get done painting this in the morning, the I-beams will be ready. So then I'll be able to start working on the I-beams for that station platform. I really want to get that really nice and solid and firm to where I can move it when I need to, so that I can really start to work on the actual loading platforms between the tracks. I'm going to have to build some special stuff there and get it down in place. And then I got to build the elevator and the stairs that come down from the station to the track level. Hi, Harry. There, just right. I mean, there's nothing exciting today. I just thought to let you guys, if you wanted to chat, you know, either with me or among yourselves, you could have it up here to do it. And I'm just building today. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I got to file everything. Today's just a building and getting ready for paint. I'm staying on task, yes. Okay, that guy's ready. These things took a long time to print. Each section was like 3 hours just to print these pieces right here because they were so intricate on the other side. I mean, it was amazing watching them build up the levels. One more, and then I'll pull those, or get those inserts out of that one window that I forgot, those one sets of windows that I forgot to do on the last one here. And we're ready to glue this one together. We'll have all the tops for the towers glued together, which that's something. I've had these towers up in place for a while, and it'll be nice having that part done. Okay, let's get that back up. So this is the one I've got to file and get the insert out the window supports. There's my needle nose, so that should take care of doing that. All right, let's get these. All right, so sometimes the easiest thing to do is to, on these inserts, is these back lines, you just retrace them like this. It generally loosens them. Sometimes you don't have the line there, so you kind of have to make your own. That's all right. That, and then just do that, 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 and that. These ones down here are the ones that are the hardest ones to get at because there's a lot of supports in here. These little guys here aren't too bad. They generally just like pop right out once I do that. Like that. See, and I should just be able to pop that one. Pop that one. I have a little bit of extra in there, so just get that. How are you? Are you, there we go. Almost got this. All right, so let's pop those. There we go. So just pop that big insert out right there. There we go. All right, perfect. Throw these away. The rest of the garbage goes on the floor, and I'll vacuum it up later. Is all of this because I need it nice and flat. Nothing on here. There's some more inserts. Get rid of those. I think when I'm waiting on stuff this week, if I have some downtime, I'll start working on the Salvation Army residence unit for the homeless. For our Skid Row area. It's just going to be mostly just I-beams together. The building's going to be in project, working in progress. All right, so here we go. Let's get this last guy done. Let's see. Yep, no gaps. All right, we'll just get it as best we can as a 90-degree eye in it to start off with, and it'll all come together square as we put the other pieces in. You have downtime. Yeah, you'd be surprised, when I'm waiting for glues to dry, paints to dry, all kinds of stuff. And that's when I get little projects out of the way. Like I'll work on a car that I've wanted to weather for a while, or do some detailing on one of the Skid Row buildings or whatever. That's when I do that, when I'm downtime between these big projects. All right, that's pretty good. So we'll just rotate this and see how fast that goes. Nice. This glue is just so nice. I've only had a few times, like when I was working on the Titan, getting ready to paint it, and it's been glued together for going on probably 6 months. And that was before I really knew how to glue these things, what you needed to do to prep these surfaces. And I only had I think one thing pop on me on that entire building that I had to re-glue. But then what I went ahead and did is there's a little nozzle that comes with these that comes out to a real fine tip. So I went ahead and I used that, and I gap filled any of the bracing on the inside or any of the corners. I've been doing that anyway on the new buildings, but I didn't do that on the old stuff. So I just went ahead and caught it up to what I'm doing now, the way I'm building stuff now. So everything should be solid as a rock from this point on. Plus, it's all got a coat of paint on it, and that also helps for adhesion and staying together. So, all right, now we're just gonna do that. Sound effect city, baby. All right, get this. Being caught up in it. There we go. This one's got a pretty decent gap over here on the front, but the back is nice and solid together. So all I gotta do is make sure it just it locked on immediately. Woo! That's all right. Putty is a great thing. It takes care of a lot of mess ups. There we go. And I got lots of mess ups. Doesn't look like it when I'm working, but later when I'm not broadcasting, I'll go back in and fix stuff. So just let that set. I had to pop it apart. The top corner just wasn't quite in right up here. So it's going to take a few extra seconds to get this to reset. There we go. All right. One more side, and we have all the tops done. Oh, I bet you can hear the phone. We finally got batteries for all our handsets. We haven't. We still have a landline for emergencies, and my mom uses the landline to call us. She has her landline, so we just keep it available for her. And that's probably who that is. All right, let's see here. Got to get this in place. Make sure we're good. I think that's pretty good. All right. So now we gotta let it sit. Oops. Okay. Make sure everything's all right. There we go. All right. So we'll just sit here for a few seconds until that firms up completely. It's nice and flat. Bottom there's no bowing, just like the others. All right, so now that we're done with this, I'll start to disassemble. I'll just take it off layer by layer, that front Artemis, the short one, and I'll bring each section over here and putty the edges, and then by time I'm done with puttying those, I can probably putty the first one that I did of this. Yes. We all, well, the older generation, us older generation, we grew up with landlines. You had to have a extension cord from the handset to the unit that was on the wall that was probably at least 20 feet long, so that you could take the phone with you where you wanted to in the house to go sit in a chair or take to your room or whatever. I remember those cords getting stretched out incredibly when I was growing up, but everybody had them. But now there's a push. All the cable companies that supply the landlines are trying to get rid of them. But states are fighting back because they know a lot of older people still have their landlines. So, all right. I think I do not see any gaps. I don't see any gaps. So it looks like, make sure we're nice and flush. Yeah, it looks like it's, oh yeah, it's nice and parallel. Everything looks good. Yeah, you didn't have any color ID back then either. It was just yeah. So that's when you had family members. If somebody you didn't want to talk to, you'd whisper, "Who is it?" And they'd whisper back, covering the mouthpiece, who it was, and then you'd say whether you were home or not. So yeah, no caller ID. Nope. Okay, so all three are done. We got them. So let me go grab the first couple of sections of the tower. And we'll start bringing them down and doing the putty in. Okay, so this is the section right under what we just did. So that goes there. And then this one's the first one I did, so it should be dry. And that sits on top like that. Yep, just like that. Yep, okay, so I'm just going to start. I don't need this, and I don't need this. I'm just going to start stacking the pieces down here on the floor that we're not going to need right away. Okay. So what I have to putty here are all these little side areas and around these areas right here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to, if there's extra glue right on the seam, I'm just going to try to take that off with just the little flat part, the back corner part of this blade. That'll make things easier to sand if I don't have the glue here, and I can get the putty down in here. Extra flash off. Flip this around. Oh, that side looks really good. I didn't have a lot of glue come out on that side. All right. So what I've got here is I use a little piece of styrene like this, and I clean out the end where it's dried, not the end of the tube where it's dried, like that. that over. I'll convert this, since this was for glue, and I'll convert that paper towel for the putty, the extra putty. So then I just get a little dab on the end. Just start here. And we're just going to bring it up like you're frosting a cake or a cupcake or whatever. Looks good. A little bit more right there at the tippy top. My technical term, tippy top. There we go. Front edge where it comes over. All right, so we just flip it around. Do the same thing to the other side. These little sections are the easy sections. You'll see where the problems are going to be, where it takes a lot more time here in just a second. So I'm just smearing this on here, getting it nice and flat. The flatter you can get now at this point, the easier it's going to be to sand. So try to get this as smooth as you can get it. And then keep your little thing you use. Dab, dab, dab. Yeah. All right. That looks good. So that piece is done. All right. So next piece is going to be the hard piece, because it's just the next one in order. It's going to be this big guy right here. So this is what we have next. Is this guy. Got to make some room. I'm down to my 6-inch or 12-inch by 12-inch workspace, and that's just not going to cut it. All right. Something like this, what I do generally, it's just going to be too hard to try to get the glue off right here, so I'm just going to run the sand block over it so I don't feel the glue anymore in those areas. This thing does a really good job of removing that. Yeah. Answering machines, I never really liked them that much either. Grit on this, they only really sell it in one grit, and I really don't know what it is, but to me it seems like it's about a 400, between a 3 and a 400, something like that. You just go to, I got these from Menards, and they're just sitting there. They don't really have a grit to them. I just kind of, it's nice and it's fairly smooth. It's not rough, because you don't want to be gouging up any of this stuff. So I would say I'd say it's between a 3 and a 400 grit, something like that. I'm catching this right here because we have this big seam that runs this entire length right here. We got to get all the glue off of it, all the excess glue that came out, because that will impede putting the putty down into these areas. Plus, if you do this, you can see how much you have to use in different areas too. I will putty the entire seam, but I might have to put more if, like, the glue wasn't really adhering and it just comes right off. I got a big gap right here, but this stuff looks pretty good. I don't really worry about the bases too much because you don't really see those parts. You just hit that kind of quick. I will putty them, but I don't put a whole lot of work into that. How about the Ghostbusters firehouse? Yeah, somebody actually has an STL file of it up there, so we might put that in and have it as an Easter egg. Now, I've shown this before. I'll show it again. I keep showing it. Easiest thing to do to keep this stuff working quickly and easily. I have a paper towel. I'll just put it right here. Take the sanding block, and you just clean off any of the excess sand, and it's right back to new. Works beautifully. That's getting really nice and smooth now. Now these buildings, like I said yesterday on the live stream, you know, I told you like 2 or 3 of the big towers are gonna have the reflective stuff behind the windows, without being lit. This one's gonna be lit on the inside, and I will actually have window glazing in here, and we'll actually have all of the shades, the window shades. Well, that sounds pretty cool. So on your aquariums, are they freshwater or are they saltwater? We have saltwater aquariums. Have those pretty much every place we lived. But after the last batch, the fish finally just well, they just got old. We didn't, as they went, we didn't add any more. Down here while I'm at it. And then we'll give this thing a good wipe down before we do the putty. Make sure we get everything out of the grooves and these cracks right here so that the putty doesn't go in on loose material. Okay. Let's. All right, so I'm done with the right now, so I'll just reuse this. Get everything out of here. 55-gallon is salt water, and the 60 is fresh. Cool. Yeah. Salt water is expensive. That's all we ever ran was salt water. We had a puffer fish in one of them many years ago. He was just like a dog. He came up to the tank. When it was feeding time, he would just be right there, right at the top, and he would spit water at me, letting me know he was impatient, and he'd eat right out of your hand. You had to be careful, though, because, boy, he had quite a bite. He wasn't doing it on purpose. He was just hungry. You see right here, I have a little something right here. I think this was when I was holding things together. I got a little bit of on my glue on my finger. Maybe a little later. Somebody asked when we're going to run trains. Right now, I'm trying to get stuff ready to go for painting tomorrow. I wasn't really going to even do a live stream today, but I thought if you guys just want to come hang out and talk while I'm working on this, we do that. If I have time a little later after I get done with all the puttying and everything, I might do a little bit of running. But I'm not sure on that just yet. It depends on how long this is going to take me to do. That's coming off. There we go. It's nice and smooth now. Thought I was done with this, but I wasn't. I forgot that little fingerprint right there. Okay, it's smooth now. All right, so now I'll clean this. I always start with the side that faces out. So we are going to turn it to here. That way when I get tired, I don't get messy. I don't get sloppy with it. Where's my cap? There it is. So I'm done with the glue and I've cleaned. I think I've cleaned this pretty much the whole way. All right. Get that capped up, put it away. Still got quite a bit of glue left in there. I should be able to glue together most of the new pieces for the elevated track. All right. So now, just going to start and we're just going to, I probably should flip this around. Exactly what I'm going to do. It's just make things easier. Plus the ridge is right here, it's this way, so I want to be able to, I've got a little bit of a ridge, so I want to build this up on this side a little bit more. There we go. Boy, this stuff has got a strong odor to it. If you've never used this stuff before, you might want to do it in a well-ventilated room. Fortunately, this room is not well ventilated. All the windows are sealed shut. The layout is going to be realistic. I want to be like a museum. They normally don't have derailments. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. But even the best layouts always have derailments for some reason. Hardest part's usually going through switches. That's where it always seems like people complain about derailments the most. That's why I haven't put many switches on our layout. Very few, actually. I think for this lower level here to get up to the upper levels, I'll probably have less than 5 or 6 switches for all 3 tracks. Almost got this side. Oh, better get the bottom. Better get down here. All right. Oops, that's one little seam. Now the stuff that gets inside the windows, you just cut that out with a the X-Acto blade, and then you sand the rest of it. All right, so let's get down here. I'm gonna flip this around. This is right here, and come along this front seam right here and get that. Don't have to worry about being too sparing with this, since we're going down to Hobbytown tomorrow. I'll pick up a couple more tubes of this tomorrow. We looked for it online. Amazon's got it. It's $12 a tube. Hobbytown has it at $6 a tube, so I can go get 2 for the price of 1 on Amazon. It's one of the few things that I have ever seen on Amazon that's more than I can buy it for locally. So let's go down and get it. Road trip. Road trip. All right, almost got this side. Last part I'll be doing the top. I'll stand it upright to do that once I get the sides done. All right, just about got this. This is the short building. I got buildings in this complex, this Artemis complex, that are twice this height. They're going to burn through a ton of putty. So I'm going to pick up 2 tubes of it tomorrow. So I like how this looks tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and get the others puttied and painted this week. Back, hey, glad you joined us. All right, so now we're going to flip it around. We'll do this side. So we've got a seam here to do, and we've got to do the front line seam, and then this the bottom. We'll get this one out of the way first. And if you use this stuff, just try to get it as flat as you can. Like I think I've talked about that in that video that I did of the other tower, the Titan. It just makes things so much easier when you go to sand this. If it's a nice thin coat, you don't have anything thick, you'll be able to sand it really quick. You get it really thick and gloppy, it'll take a while to sand. This side's running pretty good. What I'll probably do is I'll do the top next while I let this side dry. So then when I flip it over to do the other side, that's generally how I do it. So that it doesn't take long for this stuff to tack up to where it's just, you're not going to get, you're not going to smear it or anything. It only takes, I mean, it takes a full 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours to dry before you can sand it. But to be able to just actually not have to worry about touching it only takes about maybe 20 minutes. Just with, light touching and stuff like that if you've got to move things around and stuff. Going to add an interior. Yes, some of these will have interiors. Some of these rooms will definitely have interiors. Probably even like whole floors might. That's why I don't have the back panels on these, so that even after I get done painting this tomorrow, I can do whatever I want to the inside. Get all the window glazing put in, all the window shades. Then once I get that kind of pattern done and I see how it looks and how I like it, I will then decide which floors, which rooms will get interiors. And the floors that don't, I'll use probably black electrical tape, and I'll just place that over the window glazing that's on the inside so no light comes through, it's just a dark window. There's Gabe, he's the one typing. Like I said, he's down working on the instructions for our thing we're putting up, the file we're putting up for sale tomorrow on the elevated track. Let's see. Duct tape works too, yeah. And how do I do that? I'm not sure which, whether it's the puttying or whether it's the window glazing. Let me know and I will let you know. Can't find interior stuff for your in scale. Yeah, we really can't either, but I found a whole lot of files online for like interior stuff. So we're just going to print all of our interiors off. There's like, you can get beds, you can get, you can get whole like apartment or hotel room type stuff. Or you can get office, like cubicles and things like that. So that's how we do it. Let's see, I was here on the last stream. Oh, great. That was just last night, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of just... Days are running into each other. And what I'll do for the floors and stuff is I'll actually just create like window boxes on the interiors. I'll just create an actual little insert that I'll glue to the inside walls around that window that'll have the interiors already built and painted in, and then I'll just attach them. I'll paint all of that stuff and do all those detailings separately outside of the building, and then just attach them to the inside of the building where I want them. So that's how that works. Okay, so this side is done. So now I'm going to pop it up, work on the top up here. Not sure you see this. It's the same thing as what I'm doing down there. So I'm just going to stand up here, do this real quick if it's needed anywhere. Maybe. Let's see. And I didn't get, where's my, here it is. So I just got to run the standing block. I definitely have some glue stains up here. Or glue buildup, rather, not stains, but just build up. Well, actually, I don't need to putty this. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I don't need to waste my time doing that because I'll show you here in a sec. See this, the tops of these things. So this is the top right here. It gets these floor trims that go here that give us the trim that go between all the different levels. So I don't really have to do it. That saves me some time not having to putty those areas right there. So let's see what we got here. I'm doing interiors myself and it's frustrating because I don't have a 3D printer kind of resembles New York City or Chicago buildings. Yeah, that's we do a lot of like mid-century buildings, which are very common. You see my furniture making buildings. I didn't. Um, what you might do is, if you're looking for interiors, you might go onto like eBay or a place like that, and yeah, type in like in scale. I don't know what kind of words they would use, like maybe desk or bed or office or something like that. You're probably going to find guys that 3D print, and they'll have those up there. If we find some good stuff to work off of that we can adjust to our own, we will probably put them on our own page that we're selling stuff. And that'll come up as we're getting into doing more of interiors and things. All right, so let's see, is this dry? Backside? Yes, it is. I mean, that's how fast this stuff dries and tacks up. So I can go ahead and lay this down and get this done. And then I'll put it back up in place and let it just all dry up there on the layout. Well, send us your contact info, and if we come across something good, we'll let you know. And if it prints off well, we'll let you know. Because sometimes some things print good for somebody and they don't for the next. So it's just kind of a hit and miss. But we will certainly be doing a whole line of details. Just like our fire escapes. I looked all over for good fire escapes. I just couldn't really find any. So Gabe just wound up making up what we wanted. And they're expandable, they're modular. We're going to be putting those up on Cults here pretty soon, by this week coming up. People said they've, but it's here later. Oh, yeah, I understand. Let us work out the details on it, and if we come up with something good, send us a message. That way, we as we're working, we will remember to contact you if we start to come up with stuff. Just send us a message through our contact info, and what is it you're looking for. And we don't have anything right now, but with the way how fast my son is with putting stuff together, and I know we're going to have interiors. I'm sure we'll have it this summer. So you can find all our contact stuff on our main channel page, on our main page on our channel. Well, yeah, I understand. So if you decide to do that, it makes perfect sense. But if you decide to stick with it, just stick with us. We'll, oh, hang on. Excuse me. We got a lot of stuff going on allergy-wise. Here, our tree pollen is high and our grass pollen is high. Got a lot of pressure in the head today. And we might be able to do stuff by request. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But we're also going to do some very generic things that would work on anybody's layout. Thank you. That was the thing when we went into N-Scale that it's like, well, we're either going to have to make a lot of stuff ourselves or we're going to have to do without a lot of stuff. So that's why we decided to start making a lot of stuff ourselves. So for those that don't have 3D printers, if you like stuff that we have building and you don't, and buying the files doesn't do you any good, we are going to have options to just buy the prints from us that we come up with. And our prices are cheap. I mean, we're selling buildings for all the components for not these skyscrapers, but for like our 3-packs and stuff. Full buildings with all the details for like $25-30 for all of the materials that you need, and they're big for a street. They're a big building. No skyscraper big, but a big building. Wow, that's a big dump on subscribers. Holy cow. Yeah, I've seen people talk about it on channels that I like to watch. How they said, they're telling people, even if you think you're a subscriber on their channel, just to be sure you are, because they have had a lot of people telling them that they're getting bumped off. So we'll tell people here the same thing. If you are been watching for a while, just double check, make sure you're still a subscriber. Don't know what's going on with a lot of the metrics they're doing these days, the algorithms, the whole works. Everything has really changed. On a vertical live like this, back not even maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, we would get anywhere from I would say 2 to 4,000 people coming in like a 2 hour period of time. And now we're lucky if we break like 300 to 400. So we've done nothing different. We've put all the same stuff in, title wise, everything, and it just seems like things have really changed. Been collecting a building for 40 years. Sound like me. My dad did it his entire life, and so he was about 80 years of it. All right, I've almost got this done. Looking nice and smooth, so I'll probably wind up just sanding it in the morning. I'll let this completely dry overnight. It'll take me probably about 45 minutes in the morning to sand everything, and then I'll wash it off. Well, I won't wash it off, but I'll get a damp paper towel and I'll wipe the building down and really dry it well and blow all the little debris off and everything. And then that will allow me to go ahead and paint this tomorrow. So I'm going to set this down here and make sure I got all my seams. Nope. Thought I looked. Thought I was done. Wasn't done. Don't have the bottom down here done on this side yet. Yeah, see, I used to do in scale. I did in scale a long time ago. My dad was always in HO. And I thought I'd be an HO, but I only have, as I've said before, I only have a 7-foot by 9-foot area, which would barely just get me a loop of track in HO. Whereas, as you guys have seen, I have an enormous city within scale. So it's afforded me to be able to do what I wanted to do as far as the city goes, and then down below we've even going to have a second level that'll be all running, country running, up mountains and stuff like that. So for my situation, this just works out the best. Oh, well, thank you. Tuesday is Big Boy Day. You're going to go see it, huh? I've been keeping track of it online. I watched it depart North Platte after they had their big event there. I watched it live do that. And then we looked at the schedule. It looks like we might be able to see it go through Horseshoe Curve live. It's sitting someplace right now, or going to be sitting someplace for a couple of days before it continues on. I'm going to go grab the last two things that have to be puttied. Okay, so here is the last two sections, which are the bottom sections. Does not look like in scale. Well, thank you. Yeah, we try to get good angles and stuff. We like people trying to guess, what scale we're doing. Plus, this means that we're getting the right kind of details in that, it could be any scale. We're not limited. I'm just doing like I did before on that top piece. I'm just scraping the extra excess glue off right here, using the very corner of the blade down here. This side, I always have one side that's really good and one side that's really bad. Don't know why that is. Like, ooh, I got one side done, and then I just blow it. Excuse me. All the sniffing, like I said, we've had a lot of stuff for allergies. So I can't tell if it's my tooth that's hurting when I broke it last night, or if it's just sinus pressure. It's not located, it's not like localized on the tooth itself, it's just kind of the overall sinuses. So, I'm going to see the big boy in West Chicago on Wednesday. Oh, very cool. So, you must be near us. Yeah, I saw some of those Dash 8s on eBay. It's just right now most of our funds are going directly into the buildings and getting everything running at this stage. I want to have more than just a loop. I want to have these figure 8s that I'm building right here, the stacked figure 8s to where a train can go and run for a while and hit all 3 levels. So there's a lot I've got to get. So maybe after I get that part done, I can go looking for some engines. But for right now, it's just not, it's not in the cards right now. Oh, well, I'm glad. Like watching you build the buildings as I'm doing a T-track. Very cool. Well, I just, I know you guys like watching the work stuff, so I was thinking about even doing another ballasting stream where you just talk, and I'll have the camera right there, and I've got a lot of ballasting I gotta do. There's this whole wall right over here that I gotta do, and then so I may do one of those this week if I get a little extra time, and we may pop that up. All right, so there's that one putty. We got that finished. It seems like my scenery ones, the scenery live streams we've had, you guys really liked. They've been really popular, so we'll probably do some more of that here pretty quick. Yes, we are going to run some trains. I'm almost done here. When I get this done and I restack the building, we'll be doing some train running. I still got the same ones from last night. I haven't had time since last night to clear the tracks to put any freights on, but I'll run the Amtrak around for a little bit. All right. That looks pretty good. Those are good. So I'll get this done. Oh, I got to get the top. That one should be dry now. The first one I did. So I will start with it. I should be able to putty those 4 corners pretty easily. There we go. All right. Okay, so there is the last level already. Well, except for the roof, which I'm going to do right now. Let those dry a little bit while I do the roof. All right, I'll grab one. I think this was my first one, so it should be completely dry at this stage. That's this guy right here. This may take 2 coats. I may have to come back in a little later today because this stuff will suck down into the groove. And when it does, you usually have to come and put a second coat on. Plus, I'm going to want to carve all of this out where this texture is to make sure I get that back in there. these corners chew up a lot of putty. The ACS 65s, no, what do I have? I have an SC 44 and an ALC 42. But this week, there's a possibility I've got maybe two P42s coming in. The Pepsi can and the that one that has the yellow nose for the track safety. All right, so there's that one. Repeat 3 more times. Well, this did pretty good. I was able to do this and only used about half the putty I had left, maybe not even that. So I might have enough here, if I like how this looks tomorrow, to do one of the second high towers. Get the, well, but I'm going down tomorrow. It just doesn't really matter. I'm going down tomorrow to get the 2 tubes of it anyway, so I guess that's just, doesn't matter. I will have enough to do whatever I need to do. Is the big boy coming to your home state of Maryland? I don't know exactly. It's mostly in the north. It seems like they're going to be up, pretty sure New York way, New York, and then it's going to swing down, kind of go around the bottom of the Great Lakes, head through the middle of the country, and then out to the west coast. At least that's what I saw a few months ago on the map they had. It may have changed since, I don't know. But it seems like that's where they were headed. But it will be in the Northeast somewhere. I'm just not exactly sure. It's going to be in Philadelphia. It's going to be there. Where is it going to be in Philadelphia? Well, I saw it was going to be in Philadelphia, but it is coming to Philadelphia. So like I was talking about earlier, if you guys are subscribers, thank you very much. Check, make sure that you still are a subscriber because of what's happening with YouTube deleting your subscriptions. That way you don't miss any of these, because this just popped up. We decided just to pop this up today. So if you have this on, if you had us liked and subscribed and had us on the notifications, you probably got the message that we were here. Because I know some of you have, because you're good regulars with us. So you probably did get the notification. So you definitely want to make sure all that's up to date, so you don't miss any of all the stuff we got coming, because boy, we got stuff coming this summer. Yeah, you might be able to. Just check and see when they're going to be in Philadelphia. I know they're going to be there for sure. Seems like they're making that might even be on the 4th of July. I'm not exactly sure on that, but my wife had the schedule up the other day, and it seems like they were going to be at 2 days someplace for the 4th of July, and that might have been Philadelphia, which would make sense given the history of Philadelphia. So forgot to get these little tops right here. These little gaps up here at the very top. Like, not like anybody's going to see them that high up on the layout, but I know they're there. Ghost, ghost, ghost. Don't know what that means. Is that engine? I'm not sure. All right. Last seam here, and I'm done puttying for the day. Well, no, I'll be back to put the second coat on this probably this evening, just on this corner right here. These corners, just to make sure I'm ready to go for the morning. We're almost running some trains here, just a little bit. Why not for too long, because I'm getting a bit of a headache from this stuff. So I'm going to have to go get myself some aspirin and get out of here for a while. But I will run some, and as we wrap the live stream up, I'll run the Amtrak's around a little bit. Yes, July 4th. Okay, that's what I thought. So it seemed like that's what she had read. That's a good spot for it on the 4th. Certainly that's where the first capital was and everything started. So. They seem to be having a pretty hard time getting approval to get that merger done with Norfolk Southern. Keeps getting kicked out of the government back to them. They have to keep refiling and refiling. So I don't really know if that thing's going to go through. There's a lot of opposition on it. But I suppose, you know, the lobbyists take care of whoever they need to take care of, as they do with everything in the government. It'll get passed at some point. And I don't really care, but it doesn't affect me, but it does affect a lot of people, shippers and truckers and all that kind of stuff. I don't get the 30 warning last night or today. I don't understand what that is. You don't get the, if Gabe was up here, he'd probably know what that means. I don't know. Oh, do you mean the warning that we're getting ready to come live? Well, last night we did put it up, but we also then had to take it off and then redo it. The notice that we were getting ready to go live, if that's what you're talking about, because that's when I broke my tooth last night. And I didn't know what was going on, if I was even going to be able to do the live, so we just put up like a 10-minute warning, or a 10-minute notice that that's what we were getting ready to do. So I don't, I'm assuming you have the notifications done, because if you have the notifications done, you should get the notices that we're getting ready to go live. If you don't, just recheck your subscriptions to us. All right, I'm going to go build this building back. It'll just take me a second to get it put back together, and then we'll do some running. So let me get all my little parts here, get everything together. Got to find the right one to go with the right levels. Okay, so I'm going to get this guy built back. This won't take much. I do have to get in here and get the top of this other one. When I took its top off, everything slid on me and moved, so I've just got to make sure I have that one back in place. There we go. And that one's okay. All right, so get the big middle part. Let's see. Amtrak Operation Lifesaver is 2003, the yellow and black train. Yep, that's the one. I'm not sure. It's either going to be that or the Pepsi can. Or it possibly might be both. I'm not sure. But when we do our live streams later this week, you'll be able to see them. Okay, I just have one more level to go, and I'll have the building built back. I'll get the tops put back on the others that I just got done gluing together. It'll look a little yucky right now because of all the putty but in the background, but not a lot I can do about that. Won't be looking good until I get it all sanded down tomorrow. So I'm going to grab that. We're just about there. There we go. And I'll put the other two back where they're gotta go. This guy, he's back up on their roofs. Almost. There we go. There's that one. Last one. Let's see, what is that? Yeah, 30 minutes before you come alive. And that's generally up to us, the time. We just, we when we know we're going to go live, we try to give you guys at least a half hour, if not longer, before we do go live. So, like last night, we had it set, but then we had to stop it and then restart it about 15 minutes later. So that may be why you didn't get the notice. Today, we just started it. We didn't do any kind of a notice. I wasn't even planning on doing a live stream today, but I thought, well, I'm working on stuff. If you guys want to come and chat and visit, we'll do that. Okay, let me reposition the camera, and I'll get all of the paper towels off, and we shall do a little running. Let's see. There we go. So, like we said, we did the rest of the, let me zoom this out. We did the rest of the bottom pieces. We've got those printed for the Alexandria there. The Titan, which is the building here, is now completely painted, ready to go. Let me get out of the glare of the light, see if you can see the darkness of it. There, you can see how much darker it is than the buildings beside it. Now you can see this is where I was puttying, was here. This building is going to be the one I'm going to paint tomorrow. And we did go ahead and I got this built and this built up here on the top too. All right, let me, give me just a sec. Get the camera set here. And let me go wash my hands, get this putty off. If Gabe was here, I'd have him talking to you, but he isn't. Just give me just a sec. I want to get the putty off. I don't want to touch anything with putty on my hands.
Hi, everyone. I came upstairs. I heard Dad talking. So, how are y'all doing?
Okay.
I'm making good progress.
Oh yeah.
You have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're ready to go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. The reason I wanted to go get that washed off is that putty is so toxic, it melts plastic. So if I had to touch one of the cars or the engines, I just didn't want anything on my hands. All right, so let's get this. Like I said, I'm going to start working on my container train now. I've got tons of containers that I can weather, so that'll be good. All right. I got these paper towels tucked down pretty good because I've got a lot of engines back here, so I don't want any dust or dirt on them. So let's get these pulled off. There we go. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how the merger is going to do. We'll just have to see. I'm sure they'll get it done at some point. They'll have it figured out to be able to do it. They'll pay off whoever they have to pay off, and that'll be that. Uh, some senator or whatever, as we all know how that works in DC. So, okay, let's see here. I don't know which is which. I can't remember which is on which track. So, let's just see what comes out here. Oh, okay. So it is the Surfliner. I gotta say that is just a spectacular train. That was, if those of you that don't know, that was a gift to us from one of our subscribers off of our Amazon wish list. I didn't clean the track after running as much as we did last night, so I don't know how performance will be. That's my auto train. So there's all the auto racks for the Amtrak to make it the auto train. There we go. Hey, I don't think he heard you. No, I just said hey. Gabe says hi. Okay, so that was a lot to be done today. Got everything there on the buildings ready. Well, on the lower one, just got to do some sanding, and that I'm looking forward to getting that one painted tomorrow. So just start having some color in here. If you don't know what colors they're going to be, this is them right here. This is the color of the buildings. It's called Perfect Gray. That'll be most of the buildings. This is the roof and trim that we're going to have. That I'll be then doing the dry brush copper over the top of. Oh, that color is St. Tropez. I just have little containers everywhere around here. I gotta start weathering containers and getting them done and onto cars. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get some staging yards so I can be running other things besides these. I'd like to get the FEC going. Like I said, I want to get the KCS, the new CPKC, out and about, and along with the others, the BNSF. Just so you guys can see some other stuff running besides just these two. I mean, these two are beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but we just need to have an interchange. This is why I want to get. Really going to push hard now over the next couple of weeks to get the rest of the elevated track done back where it needs to go, all the way around, and at least try to get one of the 4 tracks glued down on there and operating so that we can start getting stuff going up levels. So I'm going to let that stuff dry, let this all dry. Then I'll check these corners right here to see if they suck in, and I got to redo those. And that's all that's left for the day, which is good because, like I said, it's really, that stuff really got fumey in here. That's all I smell now is that. So I'm not going to spend too much longer in here. I'm going to give it a break for a while. But then we'll be back on Tuesday. And hopefully on Tuesday, that guy will be completely painted, except for the copper dry brushing. All the basics on it will be done, and we'll have it in place, and that'll be looking pretty good, ready to go. So let's see here. Yep, you guys can see pretty much all of the buildings in that angle. So yeah, I think maybe even later today, we're going to go ahead and print these. Let's see, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got to get 9 of those beams going across. I get exactly the length. I'm going to get those printed today along with the back brace beam set, and then I'll cut a piece of styrene, put it on top, and then I'll start putting my loading platforms in all the way back. I'll get this whole area figured out where it's exactly going to be, and we'll start doing the loading platforms. That'll look really nice coming through here. I'll get this painted pretty quickly, the platform, to where at least it'll look all finished with the, we'll get some dirtied up platforms here, for the track loading, for the train loading, and I think that'll look pretty good. So let's see here. Yeah, I think so. So they said if they came back out with the HO train and HO scale, it'd be a hit. They don't have it in N scale. I just made my own. I knew what I had to have, and I found the N scale cars. So I don't know if they have the cars in HO. I mean, you can make your own if you could just find those cars. I bet you anything they've got the decals. So I bet that would be a super easy thing if you bought yourself like a half a dozen undecorated auto racks, just painted them silver, and then put those decals on. I mean, this is probably one of the easiest paint jobs there is. There's no other colors involved; it'd be single paint color and decals. So even if you can't find them, you might be able to do that, and then just pair it off with any kind of trains. I don't think any of the cars. I'm almost positive none of the passenger cars themselves actually say auto train on them. They're uh, just your standard cars. So I haven't really looked up close at them, but that's what I've got going, and it works fine for me. So let's see here. No, I didn't make mine. Uh, I mine all came. I found an excellent deal. These are the phase threes. These are phase four ones right here. These are all Concours cars that came already like this. So I'll be adding these on to this train to give me my six. I found a good deal on six of them. It cost me like $75 with shipping for all six cars. Um, so I'll be able to do a really, really nice long um, auto train. I'll probably double or triple the amount of cars there are. I'll get some material handling cars, baggage, and then add on about the other ones. So it'll probably wind up becoming let's see, the 5, 6, 2 engines, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It'll be about a 15 car train, is what it will be with 2 engines. 15 car train and 2 engines. And I'll probably get like a phase. What I've seen on it is they do a mix of engines, so I'll probably get like the phase 7 P42 for the other engine that goes with it. Who works on my trains when they break down? I do. I do. If I don't know how to fix it, I look at a video, either from the manufacturer or whatever, and then I'll do it that way. That's when we had that front truck melt on the MRL. I went dig and got some information on it. Found out that was a common problem that would happen with fluctuating power, and that was an old transformer that was on that track, and it was a bad transformer, and it melted that truck. So I watched the guy, and he showed exactly how to do it. So as soon as I get the new truck in, I'll be able to I know how to do it. It takes all of like 2 minutes to pop out the old truck, put the new truck in, and put it back together, and I'll be done. So you can find all the information you need on the videos to do all that stuff. Oh, well, try, if you know what the problem is, if you know where the issue is, I'm sure there's going to be a video up there. And I'll start to do videos as I start to work on the engines and doing things to them. So, look at our, let's see, that would be under, we have playlists. I'm not sure what that one is titled, but we have one for those sort of things. All right, so I got to get out of this room. It's still just really stinky. So I'm going to let these come back around one more time. And because this was just a bonus live stream today, and then I think I'm just going to wrap these up. Slow him down so I can get the other one to a stop where I want it first. It'll be coming in right after it. All right, I'm gonna back this one up just a little bit. Let's see, just direction. That's direction. There we go. All right, power off and power off. All right, everybody. So, let's see if we got anything here. Well, I've come a long way. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Recalled the tender yet? No. No. The fuel tender, I'm assuming you're meaning for the FEC. Car's sitting right there. And we looked for it, the file's gone. So I did find something that would be a good substitute for it. So we're going to print that off. I have to do some custom work to it because it isn't exactly like the other. It's the good long round cylinder. It sits in a cradle, but then I'll have to do some work for like some top details and end details. So it'll give me a good base to start from. I've just got to get that and get it printed off, and then we'll get it done. Sorry, he keeps changing my words. Yeah. All right, everyone. So I'm going to duck under here. And so thanks for coming along today, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And we will, next time we get together on Tuesday, this guy right here should be painted. At least I'm hoping anyway, as long as everything goes good. So anyway, you guys have a good rest of Sunday, and then we'll see you on Tuesday. So again, recheck your subscriptions. Make sure you are subscribed. So that way you'll get the notices that when we come on. And like I said, we try to do it with at least a half hour to an hour notice, if not a little bit longer. So if you're not getting them, then probably YouTube's unsubscribed you. So just go ahead and redo that, and that way you don't miss anything. He should definitely be on with us on Tuesday. He's just trying to get some instructions done for the files we're getting ready to put up on cults. All right, everybody. So you guys have a good Sunday, and then we will see you on Tuesday. So thanks for coming in.